If you clicked on this video, you're probably a high school student who's interested in medicine and wants to learn how to shadow a doctor, but you don't know quite how to. Well, you came to the right place. Hi everyone, my name is Catherine and I am a current high school junior who has shadowed a doctor before. And I created this channel in hopes of helping other students through academics or extracurriculars. Today, I'm going to introduce what shadowing is and what that looks like specifically for high school students, and I'm going to talk about how to find a doctor and what to do to prepare for it. And before we get started, I want you guys to know that all of the resources and references I'm using will be linked down in the description and also in my bio. Alright, so let's get into the video. So first of all, what is shadowing? Well, shadowing is basically acting as a shadow for your health professional, which means you don't have any hands-on activities or involvement. So what this looks like is you following around a professional and getting a feel of what their specific job looks like from a day-to-day basis. And it's something that you won't really see through videos or readings, and this is something you'll only be able to really see through experience. Now, why should you shadow a doctor as a high school student? What benefits does it bring you? Well, shadowing a doctor or any other health profession is a great way to see if medicine is a good fit for you. You can also build your network, and you can show colleges that you're curious and proactive. So what you want to do before you even go search for a doctor is to see if your hospital provides a program specifically for student shadowers. To do this, you want to go into Google and you're going to type your hospital's name plus student job shadowing program. And if you have a program, they have a form you can fill out and an email you can send the form to. If there doesn't exist a program, a form, or an email, you can directly call your hospital and ask them for opportunities. Also, a lot of these forms will probably ask you if you already have a mentor, and it's best if you find your own mentor instead of having them pair you up with a mentor. So if that part is a part of your form, leave that blank, but fill out everything else, and don't submit the form yet. In general, you want to start your process at least 4 months before you start shadowing. So let's say you anticipate to shadow on July. Then you need to start this process March. I shadowed over summer break, and I suggest a lot of people do that too, or at least choose a break that is long, because this can be pretty tiring, especially if you choose back-to-back days, which I do not suggest. These shadowing days will almost take up your whole entire day. But also it depends on your schedule. If you are less busy, you can definitely choose shorter breaks or even weekends. But keep in mind that some doctors may not work on the weekends. Also, if you're given the option to choose the specific dates and time for your shadow, feel free to do so. But please keep in mind that these doctors are taking time out of their day to host a high school student. So you want to be humble and polite, and you can tell them the dates you're available, but do not push them for specific dates and times. You have to go with their schedule. And obviously you will be able to work it out, because if they decide to take you in, they definitely are willing to make time for you as well. So what I'm about to tell you is probably your best bet, especially since you're a high school student and you're not a med school student who really needs these hours, so your priority may not be as high. So I'm pretty sure you've heard this already, but talk to the people you have connections to. Well, you might think, what if I don't have any connections? Well, you probably do have connections. Think about your family doctor, or you can ask your parents' doctors. That's what I did. I asked my dad's cardiologist if I could shadow him, and it worked perfectly. You can even ask your friends' doctors, maybe people you know from church or some other social gathering, your teacher's spouse, or other people they may know, because your teacher might have more connections than you think they do. If plan A does not work, your next best bet is to cold email these doctors. First, you want to search up a hospital or clinic, and I suggest searching up a clinic because they're much smaller and less busy than a hospital, so they can get back to you a lot faster. And then on their website, you should be able to see all the doctors they have there. And you have to find at least 10 because doctors are very busy. So you want to maximize your chance by finding as many doctors as you can. And once you've found some doctors you're interested in shadowing, because of the specific profession they do, then you want to do some further research about the doctor. To do this, you're going to read about their research papers that they published before, and you can go into PubMed to find these. And then after you do some research, also see what the clinic or hospital's office hours are, or what that specific doctor's office hours are. And then once you've done some basic background research of your doctor, you're going to draft the cold email. In the video, I'm not going to tell you how to draft this email. Instead, you can go down into the description and you can look at the Google Doc I've linked. You will be able to find the template on how to write a cold email to a doctor. Okay, let's say you found a doctor. Well, first, you want to finish filling out that form that I mentioned earlier. Remember that blank? Yeah, you want to fill that out with your mentor's name. And if you don't have a form, you can call your hospital and follow up with them that you have found a mentor. After that, and while you're waiting to get approved, you want to do some more research on the specific practice for your doctor. And it doesn't really have to be detailed. It can be like the basics, the surface level kind of research, because they won't expect you to know that much about their profession, especially since you're just a high school student. So for me, I shadowed a cardiologist. So I learned the different sections of the heart, how the blood flows through the heart and the body. And my specific doctor did TAVRs and catheters, and those are two procedures that he did. So I looked into those a bit, and I was still kind of confused, but after I saw how it physically worked, it was so much more clear. So obviously you don't have to learn very deeply into the subject. And after you get approved of shadowing, there probably will be an orientation you have to attend. And make sure you attend orientation. This is a great opportunity to ask questions. Also, as a side note, just scheduling the orientation, your orientation will be with other people, so it won't really be able to be by your schedule. So expect that. You're gonna have to be open and go with the flow. Alright, that's all that is for today's video. If you want to know how to prepare for shadowing, go check out my next video.